After having undergone a few plane changes, we finally arrived in Seattle, Washington, the home of, yeah, those companies. Seattle will be our gateway to exploring the Northwest, but before we can do that, we have to figure out, using public transportation, how to get to our hotel. What stands out the most for me was visiting the Space Needle. Initially it was opened in 1962 for the World's Fair, and when you go inside, it's got beautiful views of Puget Sound, the city. Which is interesting, you can't really tell in pictures, is that it's slanted. So as you're walking around, you feel like a little bit of a slant leading you towards the acrylic. And they've actually installed little benches so you can sit down, lean against the acrylic, almost feel like you're going to kind of fall off. And then when you go back inside and you go down one level towards the top, that's where the restaurant, the revolving restaurant used to be. And as you're walking around, you can actually look down through the glass and you can see everything below. What have you liked so far?
Well, Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum was my favorite. The lighting and seeing how it shone, it would shine through the glass pieces was really interesting to just take it in aesthetically. It was hard to leave the rooms as you're walking through because of how many colors you saw and how the light reacted to those colors, shapes. And in the Persian ceiling, that was really neat because it was above, so you looked up and you saw the colors shining down and against the wall. Like that. They also had a nice explanation of how glass blowing is done. But then also learning about how somebody else, like Chihuly, went abroad to learn more and bring it back to America here for us to share with people in this area of the world. So I thought that was all really interesting and inspirational. The one thing that you really liked, you can think about it first.
So close.
You know how we did it last night and you said you liked...
The city.
Yeah, you like this, how welcome friendly they were.
I guess if there's one thing that I really liked, it would just be the city in general. It just seems really welcoming, and I like the weather too. It's really pretty. They have some really beautiful buildings, and I think it would be a cool place to live.
I'm ready now to take a walk to the train station to get on a train that will take about 3 hours long, and that will go to the ferry terminal, where we will take that ferry to Ketchikan, Alaska.
The state of Alaska operates a number of car ferries along its coast. We're departing from Bellingham, Washington and heading to Ketchikan, Alaska. Our journey will take a little longer than 35 hours. We received some disappointing news regarding part of our trip. There's been a change in plans. Because of the closure of the U.S.-Canadian border, Amtrak is sending us to Bellingham by bus instead of by train. Unfortunately, if the border is open, the train goes up into Canada and then does a turnaround and heads back. That's not possible in this situation. We finally arrive in Bellingham and make our way into the ship. Thank you.
Isn't it cool? It's like a ship. You got a picture? This is cool. Ooh, look at the alarm bell. We will definitely know.
ferry was built in 1962. It holds roughly 500 passengers. It has 108 staterooms, an a la carte cafeteria, and can accommodate up to 88 cars. Passengers who do not book a stateroom can sleep out on the deck or in a designated lounge. I'll share more on that next time. We're arriving in Ketchikan via car ferry. Passengers have the option of sleeping on the upper deck or adjacent lounge, as they can also opt for one of the ship's staterooms. It's time to disembark. Welcome to Ketchikan. Ketchikan is located in the midst of a temperate rainforest surrounded by an abundance of wildlife. We've joined up with Ketchikan Kayak Eco Tour to learn more about the wildlife that call this part of Alaska home.
So they're not really...
Here we part in the middle. They actually...
No, on yours it should be, because this one doesn't. The Eric, the guide leader, found some bright green lettuce. It's sea lettuce that we just sampled, and it looks like this. See that? And it's very it's thick and chewy. Oh, Lacey thought it was plastic-like textured.
We're traveling through the northwestern part of the United States, and we've arrived in Oregon. Our time here is limited, so we're heading towards the coast to enjoy two unique seaside locations. Our first spot is a popular destination for weekend getaways for those living in Portland. Well, we have finally made it after taking a ferry and getting on a plane, picking up a rental car. We have finally arrived here in Cannon Beach. Heading far south of Cannon Beach is our second stop. So if you're looking for something a little bit more cozy and intimate, a little different from Cannon Beach, welcome to Casita Lighthouse Bed and Breakfast. Initially built in 1894, Casita Head Lighthouse consists of the lighthouse and the lighthouse keeper's cottage, which today serves as a bed and breakfast adorned with original furnishings and decor that would have been present during its tenure as a home for the lighthouse staff. Nowadays, the B&B can accommodate up to 14 guests housed in 6 different suites. The main lighthouse continues to operate but is run by Oregon State Park System. Welcome to Portland. You guys asked me to come up with something that is a little bit of a surprise, and you've thrown out a different guest. Tiffany, if you'd be so kind to take out your cell phone.
Okay.
Tiffany and Lacey wanted us to do something that was fun. They did not want to know what it was. They wanted it to be a surprise. Tiffany, go ahead and log into your cell phone.
Okay.
And read to me what we are doing.
Urban Adventure Quest.
Said it's a scavenger hunt. However, You are using it to explore the city, go to different locations. It will not let you go to another area until you've either answered it correctly or you've chosen to skip. We are in competition with other people that have gone before us.
Okay, wait a minute, come on. So make your way to turn left to the bronze wildlife that adorns the Portland sidewalk between 6th and 5th Avenue. Add the number of animals that belong to the Anna Today family and from that total. Okay, so what are the Anna Today?
They're ducks.
They're ducks?
Well, there's a duck in there. Based on the miles on this signboard, and then one last city that would utilize the most of the remaining miles left in your gift